Hello, my name is Guus van Wonderen and I will tell you about the functionality of the Enthalpy Graphical User Interface. The Enthalpy Graphical User Interface application was made to showcase aspects of the simulation tool that was developed by the Biobased Chemistry and Technology Group of Wageningen University and Research for the European Enthalpy project. It can be used to perform quick simulations of different milk powder production processes and analyze these with respect to energy consumption, costs, and environmental impact. Current models are based on literature research and, if available, experimental data. It must thus be noted that simulations done with this tool might possibly over or underestimate the actual process outputs. I will shortly guide you through the basic functionality of this application. The simulation tool has multiple components. Firstly, we have the unit operation box. Here, the different steps of the process are listed and can be modified. Next, we have the storage. Here, different scenarios that have been previously generated and calculated can be stored and later on can be used to compare between each other. We have the general buttons, which I will discuss later on. And then to the right, we have the multiple general outputs. Firstly, we have a graph that will depict the energy consumption, one for the total annual costs, and one for the impact. The middle window will display various different things depending on what menu you are in. The unit operation box allows for selecting and modifying the order of operations of the current process. Firstly, each process starts with raw milk. Notice how, when a unit operation is selected, the screen changes. This switches to the setting screen for this particular unit operation. In case of raw milk, the composition can be altered by selecting the fraction of solids, the fraction of fat, the total milk flow, as well as the temperature. I will now quickly select different unit operations to simulate a simple milk drying process. When setting up a process, the graphs to the right will alter accordingly to the process step that is being added. In addition, changing certain settings of a unit operation will also alter these graphs accordingly. For instance, if you decrease the energy efficiency of the spray dryer, the total energy consumption of the spray drying will go up, as well as the cost and the impact. The process can also be modified by changing the unit operations. To do this, go to the unit operation box and select the unit which you want to remove and click the Modify button. When this button is clicked, the unit operation as well as the ones that were following it are removed. Now, different unit operations can be selected to be implemented here. For a more in-depth analysis of the current process, the Summary tab can be opened. This is done by clicking the Summary button. Here is shown the calculated values for each process with respect to the energy consumption and the costs in the table on the top. The second table shows the breakdown of each impact category of each processing step. If we scroll down, we can see three bar charts. The three bar chart shows the relative contribution of each unit operation to the total energy usage, the total annualized costs, and the impact. The impact can be analyzed in more detail in the Impact tab of the Summary view. Here, the total impact of the process is broken down to see the relative impact of each category, which is shown in the bar chart on the top. In the drop-down menu, you can select the different impact category and see how different unit operations contribute to this impact category. The data that was calculated as well as the process parameters, can be temporarily stored in the application or exported for later usage. The application allows for exporting this data and parameters to Excel. This is done in the Summary tab by clicking Export to Excel. This opens up a Save As window, which you can use to save your file to an Excel workbook. When executing this prompt, the application will save the data to the Excel file, and when it's finished, it will open up this file. Here the data is shown for the impact categories, the general data of the costs and energy usage, and the input variables. Previously exported processes can be imported back into the application. To do so, click the Open button. This will prompt you to select the file you want to open. Notice that this can only be done with files saved via the application. If we open this one, it will load in the process that was previously exported. Another option is the ability to temporarily store processes in the application. This is done using the storage box and its buttons. This is useful as it allows for quick switching between different processes, which makes comparing of processes possible. You can use custom names to tell the processes apart. Now a new process can be built up and stored again. You can quickly switch back to the previous process by selecting it in the storage and then Use Selected. Notice how the icon changes as well as the graphs. The entire storage can also be saved and loaded. However, these files are MATLAB files and can only be read by the application or by MATLAB. The storage also allows for another feature. Predefined processes can be loaded into the storage to allow for a quick comparison of a wide range of different processes. This is done by using the Load Optimized Routes function. This loads in many different scenarios using many different settings and unit operations. To compare these graphically, we can go to the Summary tab. In the Summary tab is another sheet that says Compared Stored Scenarios. If we go here and we press the Compare button, a scatter plot is generated that compares each process, energy consumption, costs, and impact. This feature allows for quick graphical comparison of many different processes. Moreover, this graph can be rotated using the mouse, which makes analysis easier. For any further questions regarding this application, the manual should be consulted. This can be done by using the Open PDF Manual button. This button will open up a PDF document describing each function in detail, as well as the installation and uninstallation of this application. With that, I will end this tutorial.